Hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me this morning. I'm here to talk today about forging industry academic alliances. And being new to Florida, I'm originally from up north in Cleveland, Ohio. So first moving here, I came to quickly know about the storms, so I had to carry, say, an umbrella with me wherever I went, or I'd be quickly caught in the storms. So we talk about data and analytics in a similar sense. We think about our big data storm. We have our different V's, kind of the volume of the storm. It could span hundreds of miles. We have our velocity. It moves very quickly. We have our variety. It picks up different pieces of information, different data. And in industry, a lot of us hopefully find ourselves similar to this gentleman, but information overload. Kind of all of this pouring down on us, all of this information. So we want to find those pieces of information to help us make better decisions, both from an institutional perspective, but also from an industry perspective. So from an industry perspective, we recognize universities. We know that they have very energetic students. They have expert faculty. They're experts in research. And this is really where a lot of industries are focusing. They've been reducing their R&D budgets. They need partnerships with universities to help supplement that research capability. And from a university perspective, we recognize that industries have the source of real-world problems, real-world data, the technical know-how. They also have commercialization abilities, funding capabilities for a lot of these projects. So that's what we want to look at in terms of the industry and university partnership capabilities. So we look at our structure, a general structure, kind of a best practice in terms of setup. We have at the top a demand. So there's an estimated 1.5 million additional analytical needs over the next coming years. In a recent survey, about 50% of companies were trying to hire new analytical talent. 75% were trying to build new analytical talent within their current workforce. So we have a great demand from a business intelligence and analytics perspective. On the left side, we have our knowledge component, and this includes the curriculum development, our programs, our curriculum, our core set of courses for students to learn the capabilities and skills they need. On the right side is our research component, so this includes our different projects, grant opportunities, kind of developing the publication streams, the research tracks in our different areas. And then a support standpoint, so this includes industry support, academic support. So for example, from our university perspective, support goes from the department chairs to the dean to the provost to the president in terms of supporting this type of arrangement. So we need both management support, but we also need funding support, grant support as well. So there's a number of different varieties that I'll talk through a little bit further as well. So we've established a Center for Business Intelligence and Analytics, and we have kind of our 4 Ps, or our 4 pillars that we've developed. And these are our partnerships. So we want to develop partnerships with both other universities, industries, academic industry alliances, placement. So as a companies, we want to secure top talent. From an industry perspective, we want those top students. From a university perspective, we want to be able to place our top students with these leading organizations. Programs, we want to develop different specialty tracks, curriculum programs that are available. And projects, we want to develop some real-world experience, real-world applications projects that we can partner with, both from a student perspective, a university perspective, from a learning perspective, also from an innovation perspective. So here's just a few of the program components we've updated over the past 6 months to a year. One key area is our statistics component. So what we found is a lot of students were kind of taking a statistics component as maybe their senior year or on their way out the door. What we wanted to do is redevelop the statistics curriculum so they could get that foundation of skills early on. So in their freshman, sophomore year, they could get that good analytical, statistical competencies. That way they could take more advanced analytical intelligence courses later on and weren't just kind of taking it to satisfy the prerequisite requirements. We've also introduced a few other items. For example, in our business analysis class, we've partnered with the International Institute of Business Analysts to offer a certificate program. So as part of the program, students that complete the course are then eligible for an academic certificate. So something in terms of adding to their resume, building the competencies from a analytical business analyst perspective. They can have something to add to their resume. They can have something to differentiate themselves in the workforce as well. And then in some of our graduate programs, we've introduced new technology, new capabilities, more interactive learning, more technology-based curriculum. So here's some of our curriculum criteria. So I know Suzanne mentioned some of the critical thinking. So we had a similar component, analytical thinking. So we want to introduce those analytical skill sets. We want ethical principles as well, business principles, communication I heard was key as well, and then global business as well. So these were some of the core tenets that we had identified for some of our curriculum redesign that we wanted to try to incorporate, focus on in terms of redeveloping, redesigning some of the various courses and some of the curriculum. So when we designed some of it, we looked at our analytics course. So we said, what are the, say, knowledge, skills, abilities we need from an analytics perspective? But then I know, as Professor Thomas mentioned, the domain expertise. So not only do students need to know the analytical competencies, but they need to have that domain expertise that they can apply to a specific area. So for example, in our healthcare area, they need to know the healthcare domain, healthcare expertise, not just how the analytical thinking, but how to apply that to a healthcare problem, healthcare application. And here I know Gene and some of the others mentioned the interdisciplinary nature as well. So here was kind of our concept, but from a business intelligence and analytics core curriculum that could span various different disciplines throughout. So for example, it's not limited to a department or a college, but really across the entire university. So for example, one of our programs we recently introduced was in the health intelligence area, where now public health students can take analytics courses in our business school, and then vice versa, students in the business school can take courses in our arts and sciences school from a public health standpoint. So they have that core analytic knowledge, but they also have the domain expertise, that core area. Another growing area is sports intelligence. This is really an interesting area, sports analytics, sports intelligence. A lot of students, a lot of courses are growing in terms of sports capabilities. A lot of companies, even here in Orlando, are looking to hire sports analytics professionals to help with their video games, publications as well. And we see around the corner we have financial intelligence, marketing intelligence, economic, accounting. For example, one of our alums is an accounting major, but found himself in a business intelligence career several years later. So there's really that intersection, interdisciplinary nature of kind of that analytics core, but no matter where you are, marketing, finance, computer science, biology, we have a few colleagues working together, political science. There's a lot of different interdisciplinary components that can work together with that business intelligence and analytics core. So one of the other things we introduced was more real-world experience, what we call experiential learning. So we want to introduce some of that into the curriculum as well. So we've developed some project-based initiatives in terms of a semester-long project, and we decided on a semester just based on the core sequence, as well as students may come and go after a semester, so we wanted to try to limit it to the same set of students. But we typically have a speaker come in for a day. So recently we just had say an industry speaker come in and talk to the various students on a particular topic in business intelligence and analytics. We then work with them to develop a specific project. So for example, in the past we've analyzed call center data, or we've looked at social media analysis or web analytics for particular companies. So a team of students would work on a project for a few months, and then at the end they would review their project with the industry representative and with the classroom. And then from there, a few students have taken it even further and, say, published their work. So they've published in book chapters or conference proceedings from these different projects. And others have presented to the industry executives. So in terms of presenting their work, potentially an internship opportunity for them, placement opportunity for when they graduate. So giving them kind of that real-world experience, that experiential learning that they can take with them and hopefully find a placement, find something to add to their resume, their portfolio as well. So from the support standpoint and project standpoint, we also look at different grant opportunities. So we're currently working on one grant in terms of security intelligence component. There's also different grant capabilities for say, organizational academic interaction as well. So some of these grants, for example, would sponsor industry coming to visit academic, say visiting for a semester, or having a student or faculty visit an organization for a semester. So a lot of these grant opportunities can support the different academic industry partnerships. And here's just a few of the organizations over the last semester that we've started meeting with, trying to get involved with our students, both for-profit, non-for-profit organizations, industry companies. So for example, a few of these companies we've worked with on different projects. A few we're working with this semester. One we're working on a crowdsourcing application for their Instagram, so kind of developing a crowdsourcing strategy for them. Another, we're looking at developing a web scorecard for their analytics tracking, and a few others we've worked with in the past for various projects last semester. So we're trying to build some of these as we go forward. A lot of these are looking for top talent, so we can recommend our top students. We can give project opportunities, project work as well. So this kind of completes the cycle, the partnerships, projects, and placements component. So with that too, I'd be looking at, in terms of your experience, what have been your experiences with any industry academic partnerships? What have you done? What have been some of the best experiences you've learned, the best practices you've had, and maybe get some feedback from the group as well. So I don't know if that opens for the Q&A. Thank you.